Levantaré mi bandera, estando en mi país o estando allá afuera, porque para mí, mira, no existen fronteras. Yo levantaré mi bandera, wow. Levantaré mi bandera, estando en mi país o estando allá afuera, porque para mí, mira, no existen fronteras. No, no, y es que hay mucho sentimiento, lo grito al viento, de ser latino nunca me arrepiento. Lo digo desde la Suiza, centroamericana, rebota en Colombia y en Dominicana.
So guys, welcome to, this edition of the Latin Babbler Show. I am your host, Rafael, aka the Latin Babbler. Daisy and Paula are joining with me. And today, as our guest host, is an actress, comedian, and content creator, mother of twins. She's on TikTok, Instagram. She has over 199K followers. And she's a chancla survivor, just like all of us. Welcome to the show, Yessenia Carreon. She's in the house. What's up?
Hi, thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited. Excited and a little nervous.
Hey, you know what? This is our very first time that we're streaming it live. So if you're joining us either from Facebook or YouTube or LinkedIn or even on the Riverside app, welcome. It's going to be one of many that we're going to be doing. I do have some announcements because we're getting ready. We got 48 days before Hispanic Heritage Month, and we got a lineup that's going to be coming for you guys. We're going to have panels on every possible subject that we can possibly have. Everything from finance to Afro-Latinidad to Asian Latinidad, women in film, even faith-based panels. I mean, we have everything coming your way. We're going to be celebrating all of the legends of the past and those who are paving the way here in the future. So, without further ado, I got to ask Yessenia. I got to be lost in the times because I have no idea what a Zenio skit creator is. What is Zenio?
Okay, so Zenio, and I don't even know if this is like a real word or like something that we just like, I saw it somewhere and I was like, it's perfect because it's the end of like the Gen Xers and the beginning of the millennials. I don't know if when you first heard, well, when I first heard of like, millennials and all this stuff, like I right away, I was like, oh, I'm a Gen Xer. Like, I was born in 1982. Like I'm a Gen Xer, And then I read, I'm like, what? I'm not a millennial. And it was like an insult. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I know, Daisy, I know you look young. So you're probably like, hey, no. But like, to me, I was like, it's an insult to be a millennial. We didn't, whatever. But I also, like, when I started, like, looking into millennial stuff, I didn't relate to a lot of it. Because it's like, that was like my brothers, like my sister. They can relate to it more. I'm like, so Zennial is more like, we're at the cusp, like, right at the edge. Like we can relate to both,
Okay, so which one do you claim more though? Because you gotta be able to like sit there and go one or the other.
I wish I was a Gen Xer, but I'm a millennial.
You're a millennial?
Wait, what year is millennial again?
It's like 1980 to I don't even know, like 94, 95.
Oh, then I'm a millennial, right?
I don't know. I mean, you look young. But...
I'm not gonna give my age here, but I'm 1991, so I'm not.
Yeah, so we definitely went through different like experiences, but we're both millennials. See, and it's like, when
that's
you start,
insane. Because 91, right? 91. She's not really recollecting too much of that whole Kurt Cobain depression starting era with a gangster rap. Like you know what I'm saying? Like she's like, we experienced some stuff. I don't know what the hell I am. I'm 46, so I must be. What am I?
I think you're a Gen Xer, just because I know my brother's. Yeah, my brother's 43, and so like Paula and I mean, like Paula's my cousin. I don't know. Am I allowed to say that? Hey, Paula.
We weren't going to give that information out, but now that you've freely given that out, so
sorry.
Actually, that's a lie. We were going to do that.
So Paula and I, like, we grew up with our cousins, our older cousins that were all Gen Xers. So like that's what we relate to. I don't know. Like, do you think you relate more to Gen X? Paula?
I understand what she's saying. There's definitely that cusp, and I think with the rise of the computers and that age gap in between, where we're that last generation that knew life without technology and had to adapt quickly to it. Whereas, you have the older people that definitely did not grow up with technology at all, and you had to catch up. And then you have the young kids that grew up knowing nothing but technology. Yeah. So kind of in that space in the middle where you got your news from actual newspapers and TV and from your parents and from
Actual newspapers.
And the Reader's Digest when you're in the bathroom.
so I think
that's the only time
it's
I
like
read it.
that rise of the computers when the computer was just there. It was like, you're playing Oregon Trail and maybe like a floppy disk. You had like a blank
Oregon
the
Trail.
floppy disk, the click, click.
Yeah, that was a best.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden from that to the
best.
internet, and we didn't have that, and you had to adapt quickly. So I think that makes a difference. I think that's what she means. So you have that age where you don't feel like the older people, but you don't feel like the younger people. It's kind of like that when that conundrum started on TikTok with the skinny pants and the middle part, and how apparently I'm showing my age here because I don't have a middle part. I have a side part.
I had a side part and I had to put it back because I had
a
flip,
thing.
Yeah.
See, I'm the only guy in the room, so
that's
I'm always.
That's a Zenio.
I just have a buzz cut, so for me, it's like I never have these complicated issues.
It's a thing, we have to worry about our pants, we have to worry about our part. Otherwise, you're old.
I know.
Yeah. Hey, look, I'm old regardless. People will consider me and look at me and just be like, "Oh, you're 46? Wow, you're so old." And then they'll be like, "But you look so young." And I'm like, okay, but the first line that you gave me didn't exactly compliment me at all.
Right?
It's like you let in with "you're so old." So, like anything after that, you just completely destroyed this whole conversation.
Right.
So did you have
That's funny.
an early bug for entertainment, at a young age? Were you the one that was bugging everybody in your family?
What's funny is that Paula and I were both supposed to be actresses together. Since we were younger, we used to do skits in front of the family, performances.
Did you were
yes,
those.
we used to do them at family parties. We used to get together every weekend. So or when we weren't getting together every weekend for the Christmas or for whatever it was, the family, the uncles, everybody would give us the attention and we'd do our performances. I remember there was a phase where we were obsessed with muchachitas.
Yeah.
And we would each, when we got together, we would each had a role. We were I wanted to be Leticia or Monica, whatever, and we would reenact scenes. And then I went through the friend stage where I would print out. This is when back in the day, I used to print out the scripts. Okay, I used to go to work and print out the scripts on our scrap paper, and I'd come home and make my brothers reenact the scenes with me because I'm I've always wanted to be in entertainment. I love acting, whether it's on stage or whatever the case may be. It's I love it. I enjoy it. I wanted to be a singer and dancer, but I wasn't blessed with the voice
or the dancing.
I could dance. I could dance. I could dance. I'm no Broadway dancer, but
you're not
so
tiptoeing across
Broadway was out the picture, but
I got a question because on your bio. You're a self-proclaimed chancla survivor. Now, when we say self-proclaimed, it's because obviously we've all lived through it. So, but I have to first ask you, how many thousands of dollars have you spent on therapy based on what we're hearing?
What? I actually tried therapy. I'm not gonna lie. I tried it a couple of times and I couldn't do it. I can't talk to someone about my problems. I could talk to my friends, you know what I mean, and vent. But it's so awkward being in that room and and it is, I think, because of the way we grow, it's just so awkward to me. You know what? I'll just pray it out. I'll just talk to Jesus,
Oh, so you can't talk to a professional about what took place in your childhood?
Yeah, no, I can't. I'm getting there. I've tried a couple times.
I think our parents are to blame a little bit because, growing up, they would be if you were sad or depressed, they'd be oh, get over it.
get
they would
over
shut
it.
you down really quick.
Ponte a hacer algo. Es porque estás ahí en el cuarto encerrada. Ponte a limpiar.
Ponte a hacer.
It was that upbringing, man. It was that upbringing.
And you know what the funny part is? I got into a conversation with somebody who was telling me that because I had said there's a lot of content creators that are talking about depression, and some of them are exploiting the topic. You can tell that they're exploiting the topic just because it knows it gets clicks.
Yeah.
And I find that the same concept is okay for Latinos to be able to, talk about the things that happen in their childhood as kind of like an escape for whatever took place, and that this is how they're dealing with it. So if it's good for the people who are going through depression and anxiety and all kinds of stuff, it's okay to be able to talk with that without getting, the backlash that we've been getting. So just my thoughts on that.
Yeah. And I do get a lot
No,
of
I
comments.
think it's exactly right.
I do get a lot of comments from people, and on Instagram they'll message me like, you know what, like I'm going through a lot, blah blah whatever, like, and just watching your video made my day. You know, like just even just laughing, like, you know, being able to laugh about it is, you know, it feels great. Things like that, you know. So it's just like, you know what, I'm like, that's the way I do it. I was like, as a way to like, yeah, like bring attention to it, and people will comment sometimes on my videos like serious questions, and I will respond with a serious response. Like not everything's a joke to me. You know what I mean? But
Oh,
it
of course,
opens
yeah.
that it opens that the door to that conversation, to like people being able to open up about it, you know. And yeah, like I see people making these videos sometimes where and it's just like, dude, you're just doing this video just for attention, whatever. Like, I mean, whatever works for you, it is what it is. Like,
Hey,
that's not me. I mean, I'm gonna
I'm
make my
gonna do it
comedy
too.
videos.
I'm
Start
gonna
crying.
like, I'm gonna start just right now. Like at this moment, it's my Oscar nominated. I'm gonna just
I'm
start
not gonna
crying.
lie.
So, oh, and wait
This
until Hispanic
I'd
Heritage
love to
Month.
see that.
this
Wait
weekend,
till then.
I was in tears, dude. I was like devastated. Like the fact that the freaking lottery ticket winner was in Illinois and it wasn't me. Like,
Oh, I was
come
like,
on.
what happened?
And then all this family that we have, and it wasn't any of our family. Like, come on.
Well, you know what the funny part about the lottery ticket is that there was a time where I had like a 6-figure salary and I knew I was just never gonna win it. So, but now I'm poor, so my chances are like massive. Like that, you know, because normally it's somebody who's working as you know, some type of construction worker or some type of, you know, guy who's like parking cars or like some attendant. So I'm below all of those people now. So I'm definitely in a
Now your
good
You
chances are
don't
good.
want
position.
that. You don't want the curse of a
They're good.
lottery.
Hey,
It's what they say.
You don't
Is it
want
a
the curse of a lottery.
I already know what I'm
It's a
going to
curse
spend
of
it on.
lottery. Listen, you will end up under 6 feet of concrete somewhere. You don't want it.
That's
So
true.
wait a second. So moving away from curses and where we were talking about trauma and children, and one of the biggest things I wanted to highlight is you're a mom of twins. So I wanted to, I mean, among all of the things that you do, you're a mom, and I wanted to ask you what that's like.
It's a lot harder than I thought it was gonna be. My mom has 6 kids, so I was like, oh, this is a piece of cake, man. Like,
'Cause
I
you got
mean,
two?
granted, we were the ones that were watching all the kids. I had 2 at once, and I'm like, yeah, I'm good. And I wanted 6. I wanted 6 like my mom because I liked growing up with my brothers. You know, like my siblings. Like I wanted that, like having a lot of siblings. Like, you know what I mean? Like every Sunday we would get together at my mom's house and whatever. And yeah, after 2, I'm like, yeah, I'm good. I think I'm good with 2. Like, I'm
Do you have boys or girls?
a boy and a girl,
A boy
Eric
and
and
a girl.
Ariel.
Oh,
Boy and a girl.
Ariel, how cute.
Yeah. My little.
So, do you
7-year-olds.
find it hard to create content now that you're a mom of twins?
No. I mean, they actually. It's not even about like. So like the to actually make the videos, yes. Like it's so hard for me because I work full time, and sometimes I work from home, sometimes I work from the office, but a lot of it is a lot of going to events and stuff. So when I'm working, I obviously can't really make videos, and so I'll be writing them down and everything. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna make this. When I get home, I pick up the kids from school, or I pick up the kids from right now day camp. I get home, and then I have to clean. I have to cook, and by the time, like in the beginning, when I first started making videos, I would make my videos between 11 o'clock at night and 2 in the morning, and I would make 3 videos a day. Like the first year, I want to say
3 videos a day.
Yes, 3 videos a day. That's how I grew so fast in the beginning because I got addicted to it. Like it was like an addiction for me. My second video that I made blew up, so I'm like, oh, all right, people like to
got
see
the
my.
taste.
All right, cool, let's do this, you know. And 9 months in, I think it was when I hit like 9 months, and I just like I just mentally I just crashed. I was like, I can't do it no more. I shut everything. Like for 2-3 weeks straight, I did not log into anything, and mentally it just like I just hit like I don't know, a blockage. Like I was like, I can't think anymore. Like
It's exhausting.
It's
It is.
exhausting. It's exhausting. And
Yeah.
and ever since then, it has been a little bit harder for me to try to like juggle everything. Especially because my job was supposed to be part time, and it became full time. And it's just that it is hard. It is hard. But I just have to just try to manage my time better, I guess.
How do you come up with ideas? Because I know, like, Babbler and Paula and I, we're digital creators too, you know, and I find it so hard sometimes to stay motivated or come up with ideas, and then I give up. I'm like, oh, I'll do it later. How do you come up with things, or how do you keep going?
Like, I just come up with them like as throughout the day. So like throughout the day, if I'm whatever I'm doing, I'll think of something. My problem is though, like I'll start thinking of a lot of ideas, and then I get overwhelmed with I don't know what to do first, you know. And then if I've noticed that when I'm on social media, like scrolling a lot, even just doing that overwhelms me, and I feel like I don't even want to, like, I don't know where to begin. I get frustrated, and then there I go again to do something else. You know what I mean? But yeah, like I just get them throughout the day. Like I'll be talking to my mom, and then she'll say something that'll remind me, like, oh my god, I want to make a video about this. Oh my god, or like when I'm talking to my coworkers and they piss me off. Oh, I want to make a video about this. You know? I have lists everywhere of ideas. It's just a matter of me, like, actually, I'm a procrastinator big time. So it's just a matter, like my problem right now where I'm juggling is actually organizing my time to actually make the videos.
That's the most complicated part, I feel, because I'm new to it. So like my daughter's, she's an influencer, you know, small media. I've dealt with, you know, I've met Leo and I've met some of these other people who do it, you know, for like a full-time
Leo's
basis.
a sweetheart, dude. He's awesome.
Yeah, he is. He's really awesome. And so there's quite a few that, you know, they do this full time and they manage it to the best of their ability.
Yeah.
Me personally, I ran into what you ran into. Like I had a week where I was just popping out ideas left and right. And then I had like 2 days where I was just like, yeah, I don't really want to do this right now. Like I'm not really interested. I'm scrolling, nothing hits, nothing's exciting. No childhood memories are coming up. Like I'm just completely exhausted. And then for me, I was just like, okay, well, I guess I'll just wait. And then, you know, my daughter does these reels and then we sometimes do them together or she'll ask me to do them with them. And those do really well.
Oh, that's good.
They like those.
That's good that you do them together.
Yeah, she, you know, I think it's just funny because of the fact that like as a dad, I have like this eccentric, weird, quirky personality and she has the same as like my daughter. So when we do them, it's just, they just come out like really funny. And to me, for my standards, they do really well. I'm pretty sure she's sitting there going, damn, it didn't really hit the mark. So for me, I'm like, oh shit, it's got 2 likes. So, but I've caught myself doing what you're doing, which is I'm like constantly looking at the numbers. Yeah. And that will drive you nuts. And I'm not even monetized. I can only imagine once I start getting the real bonus and all kinds of stuff that some of these other creators have where they make it as a living and then you start dealing brand deals and things of that nature. Like that's insane. Yeah. I mean, do you find it to where after a while you're just like, yeah, this is not like, do you see it as a full-time gig? Would you go that route?
Yeah. I mean, I honestly, to be honest, last year, if I wanted to leave my job, I could.
Okay.
I'm just very, I don't know how to leave things, you know, like it's like, I don't know how to walk away from stuff and I get nervous. Like it's, you know, security, you know, like I also have full-time, I mean, insurance, you know what I mean? Like with my job where if I did do this content creating full-time, like I would have to figure that out. You know what I mean? Like my kids, like I'm sure, you know, they have a medical card, whatever, they can figure it out. But me and my husband, we, you know, like, so it's things like that like stop me. It's the security that kind of stops me. But, I know, I mean, like, yeah, like I my husband and I have talked about it and I told him, I'm like, oh, for sure. My goal was this June that just passed. I was like, that was going to be like the month that like I was going to be done. I was going to go full time content creating. And then they offered me more money at work. And I'm like, okay, all right, hold on.
She's like, I can't let her leave. Here, let me show you how it's done.
I know.
Can you imagine?
Dude, I am terrible. You know, like I used to have a job where I was a customer service manager, and my husband used to get so mad because like, why don't you leave the job? Because it's driving you crazy. You come home to work, you go to work early just for what? Like you don't even like it.
It doesn't make sense. Like, if you don't, you're not enjoying it.
Right, but they didn't. But see, like one of the girls there didn't like me, and I didn't want to give her the satisfaction of me leaving. Like
how the hell would she know? Like, what are you gonna go back to check?
But like how, you know, like that's so stupid. Like why would I stay at a job just because I didn't want to give somebody else satisfaction of being?
That's more of a you thing, though.
Girl, like, dude, yeah, it's just
That girl's not even paying attention. She's like,
if
oh,
anything,
you know what?
she's gonna see your content creating and be like, what the heck? Like,
yeah. I mean,
like,
she does watch my videos. I heard.
You know, she'll turn around and she'll be like, oh, that must be nice. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think it's one of those.
I know. So yeah, so that's stupid.
Wait a second. So along the lines of people watching your videos that I've always wanted to ask you this. How do you do it with many of your skits involve your family, like your mom, and more her than like brothers and siblings? How does that go over because
some of them are.
I love your mom, but she scares me. How?
You know what? My mom. So when my mom one of our video, my mom videos, first one viral, I told her, I'm like, "Ma, look at my video." Like I was scared to show it to her. She thinks they're funny. She jokingly is like, "Pero me tienes que dar mi cut." I'm like, yeah, of course, ma. She just, as long as I don't represent her. So here's the thing is that when I first started doing Mexican skits or growing up Hispanic, the reason I did them is because I don't know if you've noticed a lot of the videos that they do, like Hispanic parents or whatever, they're very stereotypical in the sense that like they swear a lot and they're like the way that they talk. Like my mom never swore. To this day, I have never heard my mom swear. And I know there's Mexicans out there that do swear a lot. Like I swear a lot, like whatever, but like not in front of my parents,
They swear a lot.
Like so for me it wasn't relatable because I was like, my mom would never say that. Like my mom would never call me that. You know what I mean? Like, so that's the reason I started doing them because I was like, yeah, like my mom, like I grew up with some of these things like that, but it wasn't to that extent. You know what I mean? Like, and that's her thing. It's just don't ever represent me like in something that I would. Yeah. I'm like, and she knows that a lot of them. I'm like, ma, sometimes I exaggerate. She's like, she knows. She doesn't care. I'm more scared now that mis tias have started watching it because I was like, man, I used to do tia videos like la tia chismosa, la tia whatever. And I'm like, now I know that they're gonna be like, who's she talking about?
Who's she talking about? Yeah.
Which one of us is she talking about?
They're gonna like, oh yeah, ¿de qué hablas? No. And then the other one, that one tia that's just like really raw. Es de ti que está hablando. Es de ti. It's you. Can't you tell? She's got the you're the one that did that last party.
I don't know who it is.
Like, there's that one tia who...
I have no comment.
Chismosa, the one that always wants to
¿Cuál
start
es la
shit.
prima chismosa, Paula?
Yeah, right?
They're both on this call.
I ain't gonna lie. Look it. Oh, this isn't the chismosa shirt. I literally have a shirt that says wine, chisme, and comadres, wine, and chisme, or something like that.
That's
but
funny.
this isn't it.
Not ashamed to admit it.
I like
not
the
ashamed.
I'm for the chisme.
I know, I saw cafe.
Yeah,
Café con
I saw
canela.
the
This is my podcast,
Café con
guys.
canela. That's the podcast, guys. You got to tune into that. Café con canela. Do not forget about that. So,
yeah.
all right, we're going to get into a segment called Right or Wrong, sponsored by Tissue, spelled TISS-used. If you guys are having issues with blowing out your papers and putting them all over the house, like some of my kids do, just use Tissues. It's a container that actually turns around and will save a lot of time. So Tissues is the sponsor for Right or Wrong, 10 stereotypes of Latinas based on media standards. We're talking about media here in the United States and even in South America. So we're going to go through all 10 of them and we'll see how they do. Now, I'm always the only guy in these conversations, and we have 3 lovely ladies who are going to turn around and steer me the right or wrong direction, depending on what we have. All right. So number 1, all Latinas have accents.
No,
Right or
I don't
wrong?
have an accent.
No.
Yessenia, that's debatable.
We have a Chicago
you guys
accent,
got a Chicago, maybe. I think
Oh,
it's definitely an
that's
accent
true.
there.
I think we have a Chicago.
We have
Like,
that.
But that's Chicago. That's
I
not
do not have
like,
an accent.
oye, ven para acá.
She gets all mad.
No, none of that.
I do not speak.
She's like, I don't have it's not a Latino accent, but it's a Chicago accent, so we'll go with that. All right, so it's a wrong. I know a lot of Latinas who I personally don't hear the accent from. And it also depends on what area you're in, obviously.
Yeah.
If you're in a predominantly Hispanic neighborhood, you're going to hear some of that. But overall, I don't see a lot of Latinas with accent. However, if you're looking at different TV shows, they all have them. Rosie Perez and everything. These are the examples that they use. So it's interesting. All right.
But it's because they purposely do. You know what I mean? Like,
of course, it's
I
mean, that's why they do it. It's because that's the stereotype. So here we go. Number 2, you're never going to go hungry because all Latinas are cooks. I'm going to say that that's wrong. I know firsthand experience.
Lies.
My ex-wife probably listens to this show, and I'm gonna tell you right now, you couldn't cook for shit. All right. I came home and I cooked. I still cook in this house, except for my son, who now turns, except for my daughter's now cooking all kinds of crazy stuff. But I don't think all Latinas can cook, and Paula can attest to that because she's not a very good cook, according to her.
No, and I'll admit it. I'm not. I mean, I can keep people alive, but do they enjoy it? Probably not.
I stick to dishes that I know how to do well. Do I enjoy cooking? No, I do not. My mom lives 8 blocks away. We visit my mom a lot.
You visit your mom a lot. Daisy, what about you? Are you a good cook?
Some plates.
Don't be modest. Like, just say it.
If you are, girl, good for you.
If you are, just say it.
Yeah.
Honestly, my mom cooks every single day, and she gets pissed if I don't eat her food. She's like the type that's like, yo, voy a cocinar. Even when I moved out, I moved back in recently, or not recently, like a couple years back. When I moved out, she would call me, are you coming to eat today? And I'd be like, no. And she'd be like, really? Like, I made food. So she's never given me that opportunity to cook because she's always cooking. She's like offended if I cook. I'm like, okay.
But you don't ever like sit there to try to learn. I mean, you got to take initiative. You know, it's not just about her.
She doesn't like anybody in her kitchen. So
she's one of those. Okay, so no, salte de la cocina.
She's an amazing cook. So everybody that tries her food, they're like, oh my god. That's why at first I said, yeah, they're all good cooks. But then I was like, actually, no.
I learned through trial and error. I had to cook for my kids and all kinds of stuff. So I just, eventually just kind of became a cook, and I started looking up recipes.
That's awesome, though, that you tried. So, and you learned.
I mean, if I didn't do it, they were gonna die. So I mean,
there's always.
I'll have people calling.
I mean, they can live, just not have delicious
not
food.
looking good though. I mean, they will look like all those dogs from those commercials. The arms of the angels. You know what I'm saying? Like Sarah McLachlan type videos with my kids. Like I'm not trying to do that. You know what I'm saying?
Did your parents ever like sponsor a kid or whatever?
I sponsored a kid once for like a month.
Yeah, my mom did that.
It was like a month until I found out I was getting robbed.
My mom, we had a picture of the boy in a picture frame and everything, and I really thought that he was gonna come home to us one day because my mom was adopted him. You know what I mean? Like,
oh yeah, no, that's not how it goes, Yessenia. That's not. My cousin though, she does it, and I mean she's been doing it for years. I mean, and this kid is now a teenager and everything. It's like really cool. So much props to all of those who give and help basically raise a child from another country. That's awesome. All right, let's see. Number 3, Latinas are always loud and obnoxious.
Never that.
Right or wrong?
No.
You're not loud?
Okay, look at it.
I'm loud.
Look at it.
I'm loud, but I'm not obnoxious.
Paula looks loud. Like Paula looks loud.
I'm loud. I'm loud. I'm loud.
Okay, I'm gonna say
loud?
Daisy. Now, I don't know if you look loud. I mean, if for anybody who's gonna be watching if you've watched the reel already, her like Spanish name means crumb. Crumbs aren't loud, so we don't know if she is or not. Are you loud, Daisy? Like, are you? I think
sometimes loud? I speak very loud. Am I like Latina loud where I'm like no?
Okay.
But she just used the stereotype. See, she just said Latina loud.
I did.
Latina loud. Yeah, she labeled it.
Hold up.
She called it Latina loud, not just loud. She called it Latina loud. So is that right or wrong? I mean, are most? That's the thing. Is
I
the
would
stereotype
say
correct?
In their own ways, maybe.
You know what I think it is? I think it's because a lot of Latinos that come from big families, and you're around a lot of people, so you have to be a little loud to be heard. You know what I mean?
So you think you're projecting? You're projecting not in a way of insulting or being obnoxious, but just because you're trying to get your word in.
Exactly. So you just get used to that.
You have to be loud to get heard.
Well, for all those people who are like 2 people in one room, that doesn't really go well because you can't use that as an excuse. If you're in a couple and you're in a car and your Latina is screaming at you, then
I'm a little deaf in one ear, so it just throws everything off.
Okay.
At that point, it's ingrained. Okay. At that point, it's just
on
like
from one thing to the other.
a second nature.
I would not say obnoxious.
It's just second nature at that point. I know we're not obnoxious. Yes, we're lovely.
Right. Something tells me you guys are loud and obnoxious.
Together.
We're gonna say that one's a right stereotype. Yeah. All right. So the number 4, if you speak proper English, but you sound nasally and annoying high pitched voice. Daisy, you don't have that issue?
You know what it is? Maybe like the you know, there's those Mexicans that are like those Mexicans that like, o sea, like that. Is that a stereotype? Am I stereotyping too?
Yeah, you're doing the same thing. Look, it's all this.
We're going down that yellow brick road.
Stereotyping, and you guys are eating it, man. You guys are like literally everything you guys are labeling. Are you stereotyping the names? Okay, that is funny. All right, Latinas are all great dancers. That's number 5.
I mean, obviously.
No,
we can jam.
Not everybody.
We have rhythm.
Hey, speak for yourself, okay, Daisy?
Now, whether you choose to develop it or not, you know, it's in there.
My daughter dances like Bambi just came out of birth. Like it's. I mean,
he's going at it right now.
Maybe if you stop calling her that, she can jam.
I wouldn't say it to her face. That's why it's on the podcast. You know, when we see her, I mean, but my uncle's done it to her, so it's not like she hasn't been told.
I do have an aunt that danced pretty funny, like in the old home videos. Like now that I'm playing back, I'm like, it's funny.
I
won't say which aunt.
Probably the same one that we were talking about before.
No, another one. This aunt I actually like. This aunt I actually like. Okay, I'll stop. Okay, I'm gonna stop.
All right, number 6. All Latinas have that perfect café con leche skin with long wavy hair. Literally, that's not the truth. We already know that that's a wrong.
Is that a joke?
Paula and I like, really?
The reason it's called 10 stereotypes of Latina based by the media standards is because J-Lo and all these other people are what they put on the screen all the time. So, you know, that's where the stereotype is coming from. When you sit there and you look at, you know, Vergara and all, you know, they're all that like creamy bronze with their straightened hairs and all kinds of stuff. So that's what they do, you know. So
I got a little color in me. Oh. It's because I went to
melanin failed us.
When I wear the wig, I'm pretty close. No, I'm just kidding. I'm only kidding. So Abuela Babbler, we're gonna have to turn around. I have to do like a model version of her. See what it will look like.
Model Babbler?
Model Babbler. Come out with a tarp. That's the only thing that's gonna fit me. Let's see. Number 7, extremely superstition. Like they're extremely superstitious.
I know I am.
Okay, Paula did the New Year's Eve walking around the block.
Oh, yeah.
So I know she.
You gotta do those New Year ones. New Year's for sure.
Okay, but if you do the New Year ones, does that make you? It makes you superstitious. Do you do the purse one?
I do the purse one.
Okay, so then yeah. So
we're gonna gasp. Anytime I see any person on the floor, I'm like, oh my god, what are you doing?
Like, do you get? You're about to start whooping ass on somebody, right? Like,
no, it gives me anxiety. I feel like, do you know your purse is on the floor? Like
I was just about to say, do you go up to the person? And...
I have in the past, and I'm like, oh, did you know your purse is on the floor? And then I can. And they're like, oh, all right.
She's like, why are you here? Like, why are you even looking at me? All right.
No, the purse needs a seat. You cross by, you drive by a graveyard. You have to like.
La bendición.
Yeah, there are things.
I do it by churches too.
So that media standard is right. All right, so we'll go with that one. That one, they got one. Well, they got a couple because we already have loud and obnoxious.
Oh, hold on.
Most Latinas, most hey, you guys were trying to shade it off, but you guys knew you guys were loud and obnoxious. Latinas are great dancers.
No.
The majority of them were probably correct. I mean, I think most Latinas can dance.
I'm pretty sure we all knew how to do like cabrita as kids.
Let's see. Number 8, they're extremely jealous. I'm a guy, and I'm gonna have to agree with this.
I'm
looking at it from a guy's perspective. I've seen Latina women go nuts.
No.
Here's the thing: is like I think so. I know I have my jealous moments, but I feel secure with like my husband. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but that's not what I'm saying. Like, are you a jealous person? If somebody came up to your husband and just looked at that brother, and he had like a small look back, would you go off on that?
But he wouldn't give the small look back.
No, but if he did, stop doing hyperboles.
I mean, if he actually gave small look, of course I'm gonna be mad.
Yeah,
but he wouldn't. But he wouldn't because he knows what's up.
So what if the girl's trying to hit on him? Would you?
No, I mean, like if he's not responding to it, it's not gonna bother me.
It doesn't matter.
Paula, you're not a jealous person?
Yeah. No, not at all. I think in the past, like I'm very secure in my relationship, but I think if it ever got to that point, there's a problem in your relationship, not with the third parties coming in. And like for many reasons, you don't get mad at the outside party coming in. It's like it's between the two of you, because that's where the commitment is. And if I were to ever get to the point where I'm irrationally jealous or something's wrong, that means there's like
some issue. You're saying if it's
right,
a jealousy thing, that most of the time it's because there's an issue in the relationship.
Yeah. Or among
like,
you,
you know,
or among you yourself, like an insecurity
amongst insecurities that I have myself. That's an issue that I have to work out within myself. And I think a lot of the times, you know, maybe we do grow up with a lot of insecurity issues because we are overly sexualized, or we don't feel we're up to par. So it's either a problem within myself or a problem in my relationship. And by the time you've gotten to that part, you need to fix things or let it go. And in the past, I've like, you know, this isn't the relationship for me, and you know,
Daisy,
I do let it go.
Are you jealous?
I really like what Paula said. I'm a normal jealous. I don't think I'm like.
What is a normal jealous?
It's.
I think she froze, right?
She froze. Right? Yeah, she doesn't want to answer the question.
No.
I think there's sometimes that there's that while she pops back in, you have that natural little bit.
I'm back.
I asked her,
there you go.
I asked her the question and she froze on purpose. That's what happened. She was just like, I'm not answering that shit. I'm walking away. Like,
I think normal meaning like if somebody's doing something, like if they're being, obviously, like you said, if a guy or a girl were to come up to your partner and like they were to look at them and then they look back, you're gonna obviously be like, wait, what's up, you know? But I'm not.
Have you gone buck wild? Your boy is a DJ. Have you gone buck wild on some woman?
No, not actually.
Because you know he getting hit on.
You're black.
No,
I'm asking her a valid question.
Believe it or not, when he's on stage, he's like in the zone. So like he's not.
So he's not. No, but I'm not talking about what he's doing. I'm talking about like, you know, other girls are going up asking her to play Bad Bunny, que si yo que lo otro.
I just
like,
laugh.
What are you doing?
No, I just laugh. Yeah.
But inside, are you dying?
She's like, I'm with the
DJ. Inside, she's loud and obnoxious.
No, because I'm in the backstage with him, so I'm like, oh, how funny! Like, I could already see them coming with their phones, like, play Bad Bunny. So I'm like, laughing, you know.
I only asked that. Look, Paula was the one that brought it up in that last one because you know number 9 is always over-sexualized. So. Every Latina in television movies, all the ads are like them being super sexy, con la teta pa fuera, and voluptuous figures, always wearing low-cut, skin-tight dresses. Like if women are walking around with just pencil skirt dresses like they have on Instagram and all kinds of stuff, is that right or wrong? Is that the everyday Latina?
I think the stereotype. Not. Oh, go ahead.
I think it's a danger.
No, I think they're over.
Go.
No, so I think that the stereotype is correct. Like as far as that's how we are perceived, the everyday Latina. No, I don't think. I think because of the like 80-something% of the Catholic, many Latinos fall into that Catholic that Catholic pocket, if you will. We're actually raised to like cover up. You don't wear spaghetti straps, don't wear short shorts. And so the everyday Latinas, the way that we're raising our kids, I would say no. But the way that we're perceived on TV, yes, we're definitely over sexualized in TV. But I think that that's the way that we become palatable to our white counterparts, and that's the way that they like to intake their Latino content, especially when it comes to women. So
okay, but because the whole thing is that Latinas are one way at home, and then when they leave, they're completely different.
I mean, I think that has somewhat to do with the where families are really strict, like, and then like and you see it in like the ¿cómo se llama? I didn't even really watch Rebelde, like, but like I think in Rebelde, like where like they would go and change into like sexier outfits when they got to school. You know what I mean? But I mean, it's that one is like, I think that's the stereotype that like bothers me the most. That one and like the spicy Latina, because it's like even me growing up, like I wanted to be an actress since I was little, and one of the things that one of my brother's friends told me, they're like, well, no, he's like you're not actress. It's like it's like if it's like you're a Mexican, you wouldn't be able to be a Mexican actress because Mexican actresses look like this, and it's just like, well, I don't look like that, but thanks, like, and sadly, like when I would get sent for auditions, the only thing I ever got sent for was either the chola or the nanny or the maid, because if you're either on this spectrum where you're hot and curvy and sexy and spicy and all this stuff, or you're on this spectrum where you have to be the maid, obviously. You know what I mean?
Like, that's
there's no in between,
10. So number 10 is that most Latinas are either maids or some type of field worker. And I don't mean fields like, California fields. I mean, just like in the nature, food service or things of that nature. Unintelligent is the way, like, they need people to guide them, is the way that the stereotype in. Do you guys think that's right or wrong on the stereotype? I mean, that's not what I've seen. That's not how I raised my daughters.
Yeah.
But that's the way the media portrays most of these women. Like, even when you see Modern Family, as aggressive as she is, she still comes off as somebody who's not at the same level as he is.
Yeah.
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 But even with that show, there was a line in that show that I always remember. I never watched the full series, but there was something that always stuck with me when I saw a replay. She says, like, I think she's like breaking down in tears.
About her language barrier.
Yeah. But she says something. She's like, you don't know how hard it is to think and speak, like, to say everything in English, but think everything in Spanish. Yeah. She's like, I have to think things in two languages. And that's not stupid. Like, in my country, if you were in my country, that would not be considered stupid. But here, because we pause to think about what we're saying and translate it to another language, we're seen as slow, lacking, unintelligent. Whereas in any other place, you would be like amazed.
You know, wow, two languages.
Right, exactly. Like, when I get so mad, and I hate when there's like a white creator, a content creator, that he's speaking Spanish and everyone's praising him. Oh, you're invited to the carne asada. And I'm just like, how easily it is for you to, like, take someone in that is saying a couple Spanish words. I'm like, but then again, go and make fun of your fellow, neighbor or family member that speaks broken Spanish or broken English. Like, because it goes both ways. Like, you get bashed, like, growing up, I used to get made fun of because I didn't know English. I didn't know English till I was in second grade. And then throughout the years now, like, you go to Mexico and you're just like, oh, I know Spanish, obviously. But then, like, you start speaking and you're like, know some words, and then they make fun of you because you don't know some words. So it's just like, man, like, why can't we just, like,
I think across the board, I think across the board, the standard needs to be the same as the way they receive, certain
it's
things.
True, because when I go to Mexico, like, my cousins make fun of my Spanish sometimes, and, like, I know they're joking, but it kind of, like, bothers me a little bit because I'm like, over there, I think my Spanish is great, but then I go over there,
right?
Like, and I'm trying,
exactly.
That American Latino, if you don't speak Spanish, you can get whacked, depending in the household.
Yeah, when realistically, I mean, if we really knew, like, Spanish isn't the only language that they speak in Mexico. You know what I mean? So it's just like
they have quite a few dialects, indigenous. I mean, it's quite a few. But guys, that is our right or wrong 10 stereotypes, of a Latina based on media standards. You guys make a decision for yourselves. Comment on this video. Make sure to subscribe on YouTube, by the way. We could use more followers there. This is where this is going to end up, as well as Facebook. Like our page. We've got quite a few areas. We just got on LinkedIn, so go on there. Yessenia, if people wanted to follow you, where would they go?
So I'm more active on Instagram, Yessenia Carreon _ and TikTok, Yessenia Carreon. So yeah, you can follow me.
All right. So I'm the Latin Babbler. That is Daisy. That is Paula. And make sure you follow us everywhere at Latin Babbler Show. Literally every place that you go, it's at Latin Babbler Show. Make sure that you join our My Cultura Facebook group. That group is growing up. It's getting quite a few people in there. And make sure you pay attention because Hispanic Heritage Month is going to hit hard. And it's going to be absolutely amazing. So we are out.
Desde Nicaragua hasta Costa Rica, con esta canción todo mundo se identifica. Llamen a los chilenos y a los cubanos, llamen a Puerto Rico y a los mexicanos, que ya se armó la rumba. Desde Panamá hasta Ecuador, vámonos a Perú y luego hasta Salvador. Que se escuche en Brasil y Argentina. Yo quiero un grito de mi gente latina y levantaré mi bandera, estando en mi país o estando allá afuera, porque para mí, mira, no existen fronteras. Yo levantaré mi bandera.